could boo all you want, but how many of you voted for this feckless rhino and voted for him for the last 20 years? We're going to look at the out-and-out betrayal of Republican voters by 14 feckless rhinos. We're going to see what other patriots are saying about it, and make sure to stick with me at the very end of this video when I'll reveal what we need to do to finally rid ourselves of these vile Republicans in name only once and for all. You are not going to want to miss this. Greetings, patriots all across the globe. Dr. Steve here with you. Great to be with you. As always, I am, as of today, your very pissed off patriot professor, helping you to think better so you can hopefully feel better in these crazy and rhino-infested times. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. You know what else I want you to do in the midst of all the backstabbing from the likes of Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell and John Cornyn. I want you to have the most amazing night of sleep of your life, and you can do that by clicking on the link below and getting yourself the one and only My Pillow. That's right, Mike Lindell. He's not a backstabber, is he? He's a Patriot's patriot, and he is now offering you the best sleep of your life with his lowest prices ever with code Turley. So for example, usually the classic My Pillow is $69.98, but now if you use my code Turley, you can get yours for just $19.98. And that applies to over 200 products in their catalogs. Again, don't wait. It is a limited time offer. So click on that link below. Get one for yourself. Get one for the patriots in your life. Let's support our fellow patriot, Mike Lindell. Let's get the best sleep of our lives in the process, because I think we're going to need it. Let's dive right in here, gang. I think I speak on behalf of all of us when I say here right now, Senate Republicans are without a doubt the most worthless human beings on the planet. I've never imagined that politicians who claim to stand up for conservative values and don't just claim, but actually manage to get elected, and not just get elected, but get elected over and over and over again, like Mitch McConnell and John Cornyn. And not just get elected over and over and over again, but get elected over and over again by supposedly conservative populations. I never imagined that such people could be so politically successful while at the same time never fail to sell out and betray their constituents time and time again. And I think it's a fair question that I address to the good citizens of states like Texas and Kentucky and South Carolina and Utah and West Virginia and North Carolina. By the way, both your senators approved of this gun control bill, West Virginia and North Carolina, both. I think it's a fair question. Why do you keep voting for these people? Why? What possible rationale do you have? You're conservatives. You're the backbone of the patriot movement in our nation, and you give us Lindsey Graham over and over and over again. Texans, you're the bulwark of conservatives across the country, and yet for the last 20 years, since 2002, you've been sending to Washington, D.C. John Cornyn. Why? None of these vile rhinos go to D.C. without your approval. Utah! For heaven's sakes, Utah, why of all the people on the planet do you keep sending us Mitt Romney? I mean, these are questions that patriots all across the country are asking today. I'm sure you've all heard that 14 Republican senators, 14 Republican sellouts, have voted to advance the Democrats' so-called gun safety bill, a bill that is CNN approved, a bill lauded by the likes of Joe Scarborough and Rachel Maddow and other borderline illiterates at MSNBC, which of course includes so-called national red flag laws that would allow law enforcement or other entities to petition a court to remove guns from a person deemed to be a threat to themselves or to others. In other words, the government can now legally take away firearms from people who have never been charged, let alone found guilty of any crime. And of course, this is all because, as far as rhinos and the Democrats and the libbies at CNN and the New York Times are concerned, this is all because what happened at Uvalde is all your fault. You're the problem. And laws need to be passed to punish you. And that's, of course, because the other laws have been doing such a great job to begin with, right? Oh, but wait, Wait now, there's more. It's now being reported that Texas Senator John Cornyn, the now single biggest turncoat in D.C., reportedly said to a Democrat colleague, "First guns, now it's on to immigration." House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy was quick to distance himself from turncoat Cornyn, saying, quote, "Amnesty is a non-starter with me and won't be taken up by a House Republican majority. Our border crisis is the worst in history, and the only immigration plan should be to secure the border." Well, until you get that majority, it doesn't matter, Andy, does it? When you got Nancy impeachment Pelosi passing amnesty with her slim Democrat majority, it goes to a Senate made up of lefty Democrats and feckless RINOs. So what are you going to do, Andy? There appears to be no federal solution to this madness. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene said as much when she tweeted out, quote, "Soon the only safe place for gun owners will be Second Amendment sanctuary counties with good sheriffs, thanks to Senate Republicans." And she's right. That's, I believe, the silver lining in all of this. While feckless, worthless RINOs continue to throw their constituents under the bus in D.C., at least Second Amendment sanctuaries are springing up all over the nation at the local levels. If you don't know, the vast majority of all U.S. counties have officially been designated Second Amendment sanctuaries. This is coming from an analysis by sanctuarycounties.com. As of June 20th of last year, there are now, get this, there are now 1,930 counties protected by Second Amendment sanctuary laws at either the state or county level, which represents 61% of the 3,000 plus counties in our nation. Nearly 2,000 of just over 3,000 counties in our nation now officially Second Amendment sanctuaries. God bless those counties. A number of sheriffs across the nation have pledged to uphold the Second Amendment, which actually includes every single sheriff in the state of Utah. Interestingly enough, maybe one of them will run for senator. So at least at the grassroots level, at the local and county level, the Second Amendment has won hands down. But I guess the fake news media in Washington, D.C. has drowned that out. They drowned out that reality from these 14 feckless RINOs. And of course, it's not just guns and immigration. Benny Johnson tweeted out, if the Republican Senate is in favor of red flag laws, amnesty, not funding border wall, spending trillions we don't have, and vaccine mandates, what the heck point is there of a Republican Party at all? We're spending tens of billions of dollars to arm Ukrainians, all at the same time. Republicans, keep this in mind, Republicans are voting to disarm American citizens. Pedro Gonzalez tweeted out, John Cornyn shouldn't be able to set foot outside his home without facing throngs of GOP voters asking him why he's selling them out to the Democratic Party. The problem with Republicans like Cornyn is that they simply do not fear their constituents' anger, and they should. The Columbia Bugle, every single senator who votes for this gun control betrayal shouldn't be considered for GOP leadership, shouldn't receive any more donations, shouldn't be invited to any conservative conferences and television appearances, and shouldn't be voted for ever again. And one of my favorites, Cat Turd, tweeted out, good morning to everyone, except the 14 backstabbing, low-life, sellout, gun-grabbing Republican senators who voted with the Democrats on gun control. Never give another dime to the GOP. They hate you. And that's it. That's the key. The Republican National Committee has to basically be starved into submission. Now, before we get into that, and before I forget, gang, today's the day you got to get a shirt like this, right? Rhino hunting season, right? Get yours by clicking on that link below to get some of the best Patriot merch and gear that's out there. This is a great way to both support this channel and spread Patriot hope far and wide. Our designs are punchy and fun, but they are not going to last for long, so make sure to grab one for yourself, grab one for the Patriots in your life. Click on that link below or go to store.turleytalks.com. That is store.turleytalks.com. All right, so when all is said and done, gang, I think you know the answer. D.C. is a donor-run city, and it is not until these RINOs become bad for business, it's not until these RINOs start costing the Republican apparatus huge sums of money that anything's going to be done about them. Obviously, you voters in the red states aren't doing anything about them. Sorry, guys. What the heck? And, you know, that's an important point. We've got to understand that in red states like Texas and Utah and South Carolina and Kentucky, Democrats know they can't win. Left-wing liberal globalist Democrats know they can't win, but here's the key. They can't win as Democrats. They can win as Republicans if they talk like patriots but then govern like the permanent political class. And that, my friends, is what many of you are voting for. You've been voting for Democrats in Republican clothing. That's Mitch McConnell. That's John Cornyn. That's Lindsey Graham and the whole lot of them. That's why I prefer the term Diablo over Rhino. Democrat in all but label. We're going to have to seriously starve the Republican Party of funds. If you want to give directly to individual campaigns. You do not give a peso to the Republican Party, period. Those days are over. Starve these rhinos out of existence. Get yourself educated. Stop relying on the NRA. For heaven's sakes, John Cornyn has an A+ rating with the NRA. Stop relying on these stupid scorecards and see what people like Steve Bannon and Jack Posobiec and what this channel was saying, right? We've got our fingers on the pulse of the Patriot movement far more than any stupid, supposedly conservative organization scorecard out there. Enough with the rhinos. Seriously, gang, enough. Let's starve them out of existence once and for all and take our nation back for faith, family, and freedom. Now, before you go, you'll definitely want to check out my latest video on Texas secession, which is sounding really darn good right about now. Will Texas secede in 2023? Click on the link to find out, and I'll see you over there. God bless.